1-800-273-TALK. That is 1-800-273-TALK. All of us are here to help you. Thank you.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
CTI is the only internet company that offers a price lock for life on gig-by-gig residential fiber internet at $69.95 per month. You can't control most costs, but you can control the price of your internet. Sign up by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
WTIM. And you're listening to the WTIM Morning Show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. We're live from our Taylorville studios here today, and I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. And joining me, it's a whole slew of folks from the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce. I've got Executive Director Linda Allen. I've got Shannon Culberson, Elizabeth Hohenstein, and I have J.I. joining me today as well. All four of you, how are we doing? Ready to roll and excited to have you guys, four faces, and hopefully today, I know we've got plenty to talk about, and so I wanted to start with the scholarships. I know that's first and foremost that we're wanting to highlight, so take me where you want to go with that.
I want to talk about our Scholarship Awareness Day. This is a program that we started 11 years ago. It is to bring awareness to how much community money there is for kids to go to school, to help them get there, not necessarily cost your parents everything. We have a lot of scholarships that are in the community. Our role is to come to the high school on February 7th, and we're going to be there presenting. We'll be taking up and occupying the whole side of the high school cafeteria. We're going to hit all the seniors up over their lunch hours. We're going to show them that there's money out there, and all they have to do is apply.
And that's awfully easy. And if you're already there and you're already showing them, hey, this is what's being offered to you, sometimes that's really all you need.
Yep,
that extra
put it right
show.
in front of them.
Absolutely. And so that's the 11th annual Scholarship Awareness Day that's being hosted in conjunction with the high school. And that'll be on February 7th
from 10. It's 10:45 to 1. We'll be there at 10:30 setting up. We brought in the original, if I can say, OG of this program. So 11 years ago, Margot Wagner is who I reached out to start this. And I approached her and said, hey, do you want to come back? She was really excited, so she'll be there that day with us.
Okay, very cool. Get to bring that back as well. And I talked to Matthew Hutchison earlier this week, and he let me know a little bit about how excited he is. So now that you're working with a new face over there, but also some familiar faces too. Now we get to talk about some familiar scholarships. How many are being offered? How many are on the table? And what are we looking at?
We usually have about 20 to 25 that we present or we represent, or they come and represent themselves. It changes every year. Some new ones come, some old ones fall off, and then there's always the consistent ones. Elizabeth has a junior.
Yes.
Junior.
Yes, my daughter's a junior.
So when we were talking about this a couple of years ago, I was watching her and I was like, she does that. Like, why isn't she part of this? So I said, hey, so here she is.
Yeah. So my son went to Culver Stockton College in Canton, Missouri.
Okay.
And college is expensive. It's $50,000 a year at Culver Stockton. And for a kid to get a business marketing degree and graduate with $200,000 in debt is insanity. Because if you know, like for every $10,000, it's going to be $150 a month payment. And so I took it on like it was a full-time job for scholarships. And I think he graduated with $28,000 in debt, and we paid for all the rest in scholarships.
Wow.
There's so much money out here, especially in the town of Taylorville. Our community is really good at throwing money at kids. You just have to apply. So if you want to do a trade, or if you want to do college, or if you just want to open your own business, there's free money out there for you. And it's just crazy not to take advantage of it.
It is. And a lot of people do leave those on the table. You said for every $10,000, it's roughly $150
a month. Yeah. So if you graduate with $200,000 in debt and they only give you 6 months to find your, big boy job, and the way hiring is going right now at these companies, I know from experience, my son, you apply and like 7 months later, they're calling you back maybe for a first interview. In 6 months time, you don't have that big income yet. And if you do, it's entry level, and so you don't have the money to have this $600 student loan payment. So if you just sign up for a scholarship and write maybe 150 word or less essay, then you could not have to worry about that at all. We don't pay for our kids' college. We make them earn it themselves because we feel like you have to have a little skin in the game. So, but this is a way I can help my kids to where they're not drowning in debt when they graduate from college or trade or whatever they decide to do.
Absolutely. You want to teach them those important things, but also, hey, maybe not, leave them completely out
Right,
to dry
right.
with $200,000 of college debt. So
Right.
we're talking 20 to 25 scholarships. And I know in particular, Shannon, you are thinking of one that's very important to you. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Linda, for having me here. I'm here to represent my scholarship, which is in memory of my little brother, Tanner Mitchell, who was in an automobile accident in 2021. My family and I have come together and put together the Tanner James Mitchell Electrical Worker Apprenticeship Scholarship, who's open to anyone who wants to join the IBEW 146 out of Decatur. You don't have to be a Taylorville senior to apply for this scholarship. You can be anyone who's looking to go into the trade. We know that there's not a lot of money out there for the tradesmen. So this scholarship is a $2,000 scholarship, and it's to go for their books, their boots, their tools, anything like that. And so I would like to encourage people to go into the trade and know that there are funds out there for them to get those materials. And if you don't know who to contact, you can reach out to my family and we can guide you in the right direction. So you don't have to go to a 4-year college or a 2-year college to get those scholarship funds.
I think a lot right now is being kind of pushed on those 2 or 4-year colleges, and we're kind of forgetting about the trades a little bit right now. And as far as I understand it, there's a real need for tradesmen out there. So it's just another way to get that entry in. And again, something that means so much to you. How could they get a hold of you if they are interested in reaching out about said scholarship?
Well, for sure, we'll be at the scholarship fair at the Taylorville High School. Mm-hmm. They can also reach out to me at Midland Community Bank. I'm the chief operations officer out there, so they can for sure call me at work. And my mom also works at the superintendent's office, and she's also in charge of the scholarship as well.
Okay, so many ways to be able to reach out about it, and just again trying to get people involved in things that aren't just college. Again, that's the main thing being pushed, but there are other paths to do so. Are there other scholarships that will be offered for the trades, or is this one of the only ones that you really know of being offered?
I think we're one of the few, one of the only ones I know locally, and one of the only ones for the IBEW. We're the first one that they've known of that's been offered. We've been on WAND broadcasting it as well.
So this is something that is unique to the area and really unique just in general. So that is, again, going to be something that for those that maybe are looking for that, I don't know, would we call it the non-traditional path anymore? I don't know what we would call it, but that is a awfully big deal. So we've got scholarships, 20 to 25 of them. We're meeting February 7th, and we're all getting together in conjunction with the Taylorville High School. In terms of chili, I know we're wanting to talk a little bit about that as well, and we're wanting to take the ease up that Super Bowl stress. What can you tell me a little bit about that, J.I.?
Well, the chili, it's that time of year. Chili goes great when it's this cold out. And personally at the restaurant, we sell a lot of soup, a lot of chili. So this was a good time for us to, people to get our Chili Fest chili, which typically they only get in October during our Chili Fest season. So we came with this idea, and we're going to run with it. And we're going to focus on more catering to bigger groups or parties. We're going to sell this in quarts and gallons. Quarts going to feed 2 to 3 people. Gallons going to feed 10 to 12. So if you want to, make it easier on yourself and bring things to your Super Bowl party, just bring some chili, and you'll be the fan favorite. So it's definitely something that this town is known for. That's why we're the Chili Fest capital of Illinois. We got a great recipe for our chamber chili, and people have grown to love it.
Absolutely, and we're tying it into the summer almost too. When that Chili Fest was that was a lot of fun. Actually, that was the first time really I got introduced to the square and also just the community as a whole. That was a good turnout for that as well, and good chili. And so now we're serving it for the Super Bowl and for those bigger groups.
We are, and we're going to obviously highly recommend pre-orders. You go on our Facebook page. We have a very nice setup. You can order online through our form system, and we're going to have a drive-through. It's going to be at the U.S. Bank in their front parking lot.
Back parking
lot. So not on the square. And the chamber staff and volunteers and board members are going to be to help serving it, along with some Chili Fest
Yes, we're gonna have the fetching
royalty.
girls there. Yes, the royalty will be there.
So anyway, it's a fun time. Obviously, we enjoy helping the community and make it easier for them, and obviously it's a great fundraiser for your local chamber.
Absolutely. Well, hey, that first segment absolutely flew. I've got Executive Director Linda Allen of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce. I have Shannon Culberson, Elizabeth Hohenstein, and J.I. joining me here, board members of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce. We'll come back around. We'll talk maybe a little bit more about scholarships, maybe a little bit more about chili, or we'll find out what these guys want to talk about in this next segment. We'll be right back on your information station, WTIM. It's been brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville.
Your information station, WTIM.
Find out all the great things happening in the Pana area on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, Tuesdays from 8:40 till 10. You'll hear interviews with Pana area community, nonprofit, and business leaders each week. The WTIM Pana Morning Show is brought to you by these sponsors.
Our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, and Locked and Loaded Limited.
I'm Will Perkins, President and CEO of the Taylorville Community Credit Union. TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight, allowing a different nonprofit organization to be highlighted on WTIM, WMKR, and WRAN each month.
Hi, I'm Kathy Coker, Executive Director at Loving Arms Pregnancy Center. We provide free and confidential services pertaining to pregnancy and related issues. Services include on-site pregnancy tests, options consultation, ultrasound and medical referrals, as well as parenting education, and so much more. Loving Arms Pregnancy Center has 2 locations, in Taylorville at 500 North Walnut Street and in Pana at 201 South Locust Street. You can reach us by calling 217-824-7200 or by visiting lovingarmsillinois.com.
This is Cammie Payne, General Manager of the Miller Media Group. We, along with TCCU, are proud to bring you the Community Spotlight each month.
TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
There's only one Central Illinois radio station that brings you the memories of the 60s and early 70s as you are cruising down the streets of your hometown. The dial position is 98.3 FM. The station is 98.3 WSVZ. From Macon to Vandalia and I-55 to I-57, cruising 98.3 plays the hits from early Elvis in the 60s to the British invasion of the Beatles, Herman's Hermits, and many more from the 1960s. Then we swing into the early half of the 1970s with artists like the Guess Who, the Doobie Brothers, and Elton John. Every song brings back something you remember about growing up. Set a button and crank up the station, playing good time rock and roll from the Tower of Power, cruising 98.3 WSVZ.
Small towns are in, and Taylorville is poised for you and your family to join them. Taylorville has what you're looking for. Find out more, including upcoming events, by clicking the Small Town Taylorville icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Senior Insurance Quote in Decatur can find the right plan for you. Their Medicare plan specialists are ready to answer your questions about Medicare plans and help you explore your options today. Click their icon on the obituaries page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. And, well, that's Linda Allen, Executive Director of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce. I have Shannon Culberson, Elizabeth Hohenstein, and J.I. joining me here on the morning show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. We talked scholarships. We'll turn back to that in just a moment. We talked a little bit about Chili Fest. But, Linda, what about some other goings with the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce?
We hit the 2025 did not start out slow, so we're going with it. I wanted to mention that we have a new member. I did not bring my flyer, and that's fine. But Mr. Connor Metcalf has joined Taylorville, and he's representing State Farm. He took over the agency for Joe Meeks, who has finally retired. He finally got someone to come. So I've met with Connor a few times. Great guy. We're going to have his ribbon cutting on the 22nd. and it's going to be at 10:30. Weather will be perfect. Just know that.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Yeah, we had a whole lot of snow these last couple of weeks, so the weatherman hopefully will be able to provide that.
Yes.
And when it comes to the ribbon cuttings and new businesses and introducing them, Linda, how do you get involved with that? Are you aware of that almost immediately, that, hey, this is a new person, a new business that's looking to come in, and you're also just looking to connect Taylorville to that business?
Right.
Can you explain that process a little bit for me?
Either we'll hear about them or they'll hear about us, and one of us reaches out to each other, and then we start to have these conversations, learn about each other. And then the ribbon cutting is a great welcoming opportunity to Taylorville, and it's a great photo opportunity, and it's just great. He's flying his dad in from California for this, so rain or snow or shine, it's going to happen. So these are just great networking things. Like meeting Connor, I took him to the after hours at the West Side Christmas party, and you just get them invited, and you get them to know people. You help them get to know people, and it just helps them grow from there.
Absolutely. I was actually about to ask about the business after hours. When is the next one coming up? And
we actually choose to sit out the first quarter because of flu season. We started doing that back before 2021. We saw that it was effective. Now we'll probably start in March.
Okay.
So we're scheduling those out right now. I have 2 booked already. We'll release that information and reach out to some that may have never had the opportunity that want to do it.
Sure.
So be watching for those.
Sure. So this was okay. Well, that's interesting. So you were pre-COVID. You were thinking about that.
Well, we were seeing that trend.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it was starting in January, and we were like, why are we getting a bunch of people together making everyone sick? So we just chose to sit that out.
Absolutely. Well, that is a little bit about what's going on to start 2025 ribbon cutting. And could you give those dates one more time?
February 22nd, it'll be at 10:30 a.m. and it's going to be located at 925 West Presser Street, and it is Connor Metcalf, State Farm agent.
And let's double down and head back over to Chile and some of those dates and what we're expecting as well from that. And maybe we can talk a little bit about the upcoming Chili Fest, if you are able to tell me a little bit about that as well.
Sure. We'll start with, I want to make sure I mentioned, this is not just for Super Bowl. I mean, if you want chili on a Thursday night, we're going to serve this hot or cold. Okay. So it's not just for the Super Bowl itself. So if you're just in the mood for chili, this stuff freezes. We've done that before at Chili Fest. We've had some left over. So if you just want to, they're not usually not good weather, January, February. So if you want to have some chili stocked up, ready to go, we got you covered. We are making the deadline, for the pre-orders the day before. We're going to have a little bit on hand to sell live, but not much. We could run out. So to guarantee that you get your chili from Chili Fest, you need to make sure you get your pre-orders in. Again, our Facebook page, our website, we have a nice pre-order form, card, cash, payment.
If you
everything.
need to buy tickets, we'll sell you tickets to the office.
This is a great way for businesses. If you want to reward your employees, give them some gallons of chili. And, just kind of, if you want to have a company party that Friday, there's several ways to do this. And so, again, we can serve this hot or cold for you. Everything is going to be cooked. So you just got to reheat it in a crock pot or your choice.
Okay.
It smells amazing.
It was pretty good. I don't know if leftovers would last that long with me, but, maybe a freezer would do me some good. And I'd like to go back around as well to the Scholarship Awareness Day. That's a big deal. And it has real meaning for not only yourself, Shannon, but also for those out there that also have, students that are interested in getting those scholarships. Can we go back and can you provide some of that contact information and just a little bit more once again?
Yeah, just to remind everybody, I'm representing the Tanner James Mitchell Electrical Worker Apprenticeship Scholarship, which is available to anyone, not just Taylorville High School seniors. So anyone locally who wants to join the IBEW 146 and become an electrician. So you can contact me. Again, I work at Midland Community Bank. My mom works at the superintendent's office. You can also call me. My number is 217-823-3764. Or you can email me at Culberson, CULBERSON 0727 @gmail.com. This is a $2,000 scholarship that we award each year. And this is for the cost of the books for the apprenticeship program, the boots that the steel toe boots that the men and women have to buy, and all of their tools. This is a four-year apprenticeship program that these men and women have to do while they work. So they work all day, then they go to school at night for 4 years. So I find it near and dear to my heart to provide this money for these folks. My little brother was in a car accident during his second year of this apprenticeship program. My husband currently works for the IBEW. So I feel really great to give back to these people. And I really encourage anybody who's looking to go into the trade, if you're going into the IBEW, please reach out to me and let me help you get some money.
Absolutely. $2,000. Do not leave that on the table. Thank you for doing so. And also too, just to know that, man, that's a lot of work for them.
Yeah.
I did not realize they're constantly taking classes as well.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're a journeyman. Is that
For
correct?
sure. Yeah.
So that's a 4-year process and a long process at that. So we've got the upcoming scholarship day. That was the 11th annual. That's on February 7th.
7th, yes.
From
10:45 to 1.
And you'll get to see some shining faces like the ones that are here right now. And thank you for bringing the energy here today, guys. Again, Executive Director Linda Allen of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, Shannon Culberson, Elizabeth Hohenstein, and J.I. We'll leave it at that. That's how we'll leave it there today. And a big thanks to our sponsors as well, in People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. Anything before we wrap things up here today that we need to make sure we hit on or double down on?
I just think come buy some chili, get some scholarships, and apply for this money, because I was talking to Shannon about this. I know how much those tools cost for those guys to get started. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And if you can offset any of that in any way, help yourself.
And think about that $10,000 or to $150 payment conversion. And all of a sudden those dollars add up. Well, a big thank you to all 4 of you for joining me here today. Again, board members with the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce. And this interview has been brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. We'll be right back on WTIM.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9